Hello, I'm the official name reader. Unfortunately, I just recorded this video, put it into post, and then realized the whole fucking video is muted, so we gotta redo it. So that's why all of these links are already clicked, but I'm gonna do it again. So Girafarig is today's episode. I look through Google, I click on things, I read it, and more importantly, I make sure my voice is in the video. This was the first one we went over. I know we've spoken about scientific stuff before, but it was more along the lines of like genus, phylus, species kind of thing, and this isn't that, so it's different than naming your Meowth cat. It's better than that, but in general, I'm still kind of on the nickname, so if it appeals to you, you could use it, but I don't particularly care. Back talk I liked because it kind of reminded me a little bit of Ambipom, where it was like backhand and a bunch of silly hand things like that. I think it works. I think it's totally fine. Yeah. A palindrome is the same thing forward and backwards, which is Girafarig's name. Now, would you like to count how many palindromes are on just this site alone? We have 1, 2, 3, I mean I guess Bob would technically be the same thing, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Are you annoyed yet? Because I am. I don't care about palindromes, spelling the name backwards, it's not clever or creative, it's kind of annoying pretty fucking quickly. Two-Face is what I personally use, and I agree, it just makes perfect sense. I never had to look up a nickname for this because it was the first thing that came to mind, and it was just a perfect choice. Named after the Batman villain, and even if you're not a fan of Batman, it's just a thing that people say in the real world. That person is two-faced. Like, it just makes fucking sense. Jekyll and Hyde, I actually like. I think that one's pretty clever. It just barely fits, so if you want to use that, I'm totally okay with that one too. I think rather than naming it just Harvey, you should put Harvey Dent, because then you're solidifying that it's Two-Face based off of him, opposed to someone just thinking, who the hell is Harvey? Like, maybe they might draw it, but you could definitely fit it. That name is 10 characters, 11 if you add the space, so it's not really necessary to drop the last name. You can fit it, there's not really an excuse not to use it. Bonnie and Clyde, we saw with Nidoking and Nidoqueen. You can technically use that if you want to. You're just gonna have to like squish the name together, and then maybe if you're within the first few generations, drop an N or something like that. Yeah, that's up to you. The only thing here on Denny's that interests me was just Doolittle, and even then I could live without it personally. But if this appeals to you, then you could use it. It's basically cat dog. Don't name your Girafarig cat dog. I mean, it could make a little bit of sense, but it's not a cat or a dog, or both of them. And that's it. That's the bottom. There is a single link we cannot click, and that's this one, because when we try, it just says, no, it's dangerous. So Yahoo, maybe fix your shit site so the few times when you are actually relevant, we can view it. But that's it. That's everything for Girafarig. So all that's left is to check the spreadsheet. And there's nothing in here that interests me, so I'm calling that a bust. Overall, Girafarig was okay, but there wasn't too many suggestions. Like, the ones that we found were decent, just not the palindromes, because that's kind of not interesting me. The highlights, I liked Back Talk, that one made me laugh. Jekyll and Hyde I really like. And then Bonnie and Clyde, if you can fit it. Notice how they rhyme. And the one I personally use, which is Two-Face. I think that one's going to be very, very hard to top. But I challenge you to try, because I think it'd be really cool if we could have more awesome Girafarig nicknames. And that is where you guys come in, because in the comments below, tell us what you name your Girafarig, or any ideas that you think would fit a Girafarig. And then give a like to all the comments that you think are good, and we can continue talking about Girafarig stuff. Sorry for having to re-record it, but yeah, that's sometimes how things go.